All right, guys, we are live on a Saturday. Like I promised, if you didn't see my announcement on the page, I basically said I wasn't going to be doing a live Friday because I had some stuff to do with family, and then I also had some errands to run, so I couldn't get on Friday. And then I also got out of work late, so I just wasn't able to get on Friday. But the times that I'm not able to get on, I will put an announcement out. And if I don't, I probably just forgot. But most likely I'll put a comment out just to let you guys know. But yeah, so the title of the live stream today is "Passing Up on Opportunities Will Get You Broke." Will leave you broke, I should say, right? So, what am I talking about? For me, um, I I would say I got heavy. I wouldn't say heavy, but I got into paper assets during my college years. So that was like 2012 to 2015, and I didn't really understand what was going on in the stock market, and I didn't really understand like the major indexes, how that affects the overall stock market, or they're a big indicator of where the market is going and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure back then there was a lot of plays, there were a lot of stocks that went up, whether it was a double or triple in price, and I end up missing out on the opportunity, and that's because I was not educated in the space. So a lack of education will have you missing opportunities that could potentially build your wealth. And I think that's the case for most people. Most people are not educated and they choose not to be educated. And for the most part, they I think there's a thing going on where everybody thinks everything's a scam or everything's a Ponzi scheme. And a lot of it is because they missed out on the opportunity, and they may see other people in that investment vehicle, and they say, hey, that person made money, impossible, or it's too good to be true, and they continue to pass up on opportunities that could have potentially doubled their net worth, or maybe not their net worth, but maybe if they put in a little bit of money, they could have doubled their money, they could have tripled their money. So yeah, I think it starts with paper assets, since that's like, for me, that's the easiest for people to get into, especially today. It's not like back in the day where you had a call to actually buy stocks, right? I never had to do that, but I know back then they had a call to actually purchase stocks. It was a whole process. It's not like today where you have all these brokerages and you could just go in and make an investment and you're off to the races, right? There's so many investment apps. Especially, I'm not even talking about the top tier exchanges, like TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Interactive Brokers, Fidelity, Charles Schwab. You got a whole bunch of little ones. You have Public, you have Moomoo, you have Webull. There's so many ways you can buy these assets. So, the only thing left is the education gap, where you need to educate yourself so you can make the best investment decision and stop missing out on these opportunities, right? And that's for stocks, but specifically for what I'm speaking on now and what I'm seeing in front of us, just because I've been through one of the bull markets before, is the crypto market. We are going to be seeing, and my battery is about to go out for the Mac. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna have to get my battery real quick, or get my charger. Give me just a sec. Just a sec. I need to get like an outlet, because I have an outlet, but it's annoying to put this charger in. All right, we're good. But yeah, so specifically right now, I'm talking about the crypto market. The crypto market, obviously, if you haven't been paying attention, Bitcoin hit all-time highs. Ethereum is about to hit an all-time high. They're about to come out with a upgrade, the Denkun upgrade next week. So I expect prices to start moving when it comes to Ethereum and the ecosystem. within Ethereum, right? So yeah, I think this is one of the biggest opportunities that, you know, the average person could get in, and it makes sense. Like, I think most people think, oh, it's a scam, that there's no underlying asset behind crypto. And you really need to get into the technology to see like the opportunity, right? And I'm not like the biggest person on technology, but again, so I'm gonna share my screen, and maybe we can just go into the Bitcoin chart. All right. So I would say for most people, right? Um, when it came out in 2009 to let's just say 2018, I would say most people probably, or 2017. Let's just say 2017. You probably wouldn't have heard about it unless you were like a tech or developer in the space, or just in those rooms, or connected to people that knew what was going on. But and I would say more developers. I think people that invested in 2009, 2010, they were developers, and they were more in like those forums that people were speaking about this, and it was more accessible to them. So I don't blame people for not getting in 2010 to 2017, right? But from 2017 to now, current time, 2024, I think people should have at least done some research on what was going on, right? Like, if you see the news talking about like every other week, Bitcoin, and maybe during the bear markets, they don't talk about it as much. Well, they do. They more put fear into the public, saying, okay, this thing is going to zero. Obviously, during the bear market, it's a scam and all this stuff. But I would say 2017 is when it should have been apparent to most people that, okay, something's going on here. This asset keeps going up in price, and maybe it's something I should evaluate. Now, let's say maybe you didn't get in 2017, right? We had a bear market, so that kind of marked the top of the bear market for 2017. I think 20K was the top of the bull market. I say the top of the bull market. But let's say you didn't it didn't drive interest during 2017, right? And then we had this crash all the way to like 3,000, and then again we had a bull market, going into 2021, or no, it was, yeah, I think the halving was 2016. Yeah, because if the peak was 2017, the halving was 2016. So the next halving would have been in 2020, and that's why we saw the bull market in 2021, right? I would say at this point, if you didn't catch it in 2017, in 2021 when it reached 60,000, at this point, people should have saw a pattern. People should have been doing their research, and saw that institutions were getting into this, right? I mean, I think even at that point, they had futures like a BTC futures ETF at the time. So it was kind of apparent that this thing was going to be, there was a pattern, right? There was a pattern. There was an opportunity that, you could have got in. It's just not for Bitcoin. It's like the whole space, right? If you look at the top 10 coins, there was opportunities for you to double, triple your money, and you didn't really need to do much, right? Like, it's basically staying to the top 10 coins, and allocating what you could afford to lose, and not stretching yourself. But for something like that, for Bitcoin that's been around since 2009, being around for 10 years plus at that time of 2021, I think it was almost a a clear opportunity where you could have got in and put some money in there and been at a good position now, right? Because now we're at 68,000, right? So, and it's funny because I've been watching. So I'm not gonna mention names, but I've been watching some finance YouTubers. Well, one in particularly, right? It's not. I'm pretty sure there's more though, and this person keeps calling it a scam, which it's more because, and again, I go back to what I was saying in the beginning. When people don't understand something, they tend to call it a scam, right? So it's better for you to do some good research, quality research, and actually understand what's going on. Because, right, so a scam for me is something that shoots up and goes to zero. Like I used to trade penny stocks, and those were scams, right? Because those penny stocks would shoot up in price to $2 to $3, and go to zero, and then file for bankruptcy, and you never hear about the company again. That's a scam, right? That's a Ponzi. A Ponzi. So when somebody says crypto's a Ponzi, yeah, some of them could be a Ponzi, but you got to look at it. A Ponzi goes up and goes to zero, right? So in all these instances, when Bitcoin goes up and crashes and doesn't go to zero and then make all-time highs, you can't really say it's a Ponzi, right? It's in a lot of people say it's like, oh, it's a pump and dump. It's a pump and dump. But like, when it just keeps breaking new highs. And then also, you have to watch the space as well. Like when you start seeing BlackRock, right? I mean, if you think about who BlackRock is basically the the epitome of 401k investing, right? This is where a lot of people's retirement money is, pensions, all this stuff. So, once you see a person like BlackRock get in, and then I see somebody saying, it's still a scam when BlackRock's getting in, it's like, come on. So again, I think when people say that type of stuff, I think it's because they didn't do their research, or, maybe it is great. Like if you look at the chart, it's like, man, like, and like, all right, let's say you didn't get in and you look at the chart and you're like, wow, it's at 68,000, right? And basically 14 years have passed, and I just sat and looked at a chart. I think that's what people that didn't get in, or maybe they're getting in a little bit late, which I don't think it's late. I think we're still very early in the process, right? I think Bitcoin most likely will eventually reach 500K to a million. This might be in 2030, 2035, maybe sooner than that. I think this bull run will get over 100K. And so, 68,000 is high, but it's relatively early, right? And then if again, you go back to the chart, I guarantee you, when we were at 20,000, people were saying it was high, right? When we were at, I'm pretty sure when it was there in 400, then it went to 1,000. Oh, it was high, right? So again, you go back to different price points on the chart, and you can always say that point is high, but in order to really understand, you need to see what's going on, right? Okay, it's a cap supply. Okay, the regular monetary system keeps printing money, right? They have to low interest rate. They have to lower interest rates. They have to increase interest rates to get the monetary supply to function correctly, or tame inflation, because they don't know how to handle their money. So, the fact that you have something that's scarce right now, I think what a lot of people get caught up onto, it's like, but what is backing it? I don't really think it's necessarily I think the value just comes from, it's that like that first movers market advantage. So like for instance, I feel like, and I don't really eat fast food, but I feel like there's a lot of fast food restaurants that are better than McDonald's, right? But McDonald's was number one. And then also McDonald's does, I guess, keep up you know, update their menu and stuff like that, try to cater to what's going on in the current market. But again, the same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has first movers advantage. It was the first one on the scene, and it's just a scarce asset that people can own themselves, right? You could store it on your own USB, you could store it on your own computer, and you own it. And yeah, physically, it's nothing, right? It's just a coin on a virtual ledger that you own, but nobody can break into that system. I mean, they could, but it'd be very, it's almost impossible. And people can physically own it, and physically meaning in like hold on their person. It doesn't have to go in the bank, right? And people can't go into your wallet and take it. So I think that's very valuable. And not only do I think it's very valuable, but it's showing that it's very valuable from the price, right? Because the thing is, you you can really only you can really only show how good something is from the numbers, right? So for instance, like for people that don't believe in it, like how could we convince you to believe in it? Because if it wasn't at the price, if it didn't keep going up in price, the argument would be, right? The argument would be, oh, it's not going up in price, it's staying the same. So, but the fact that it's going up in price, people are, they're saying, oh, it's a pump and dump, right? So again, I just bring up Bitcoin to to show that we have a current opportunity in front of us, right? Crypto, and if you understand what's going on in the market, you could take advantage of it, and it's been showing over the last 12 years that we have these cycles where every 4 years Bitcoin cuts in half the supply, and after that the price goes up. But in this instance, in this cycle, Bitcoin already broke its all-time highs before the halving. I mean, it's break like so again, and then also key trends as well. Being aware of these key trends. Like if you say, okay, every time this thing cuts in half, it does a halving, it goes up in price. It breaks its all-time highs, right? But now we have a situation where before the halving, it broke all-time highs. So for me, it's very bullish. I think this is probably going to be the biggest bull run we've seen, and it's probably going to be one of the last. I think too. Also, I think we're going to get rid of the pump and dump notion, right? Because let me tell you, right? The fact that we have BlackRock, the fact that we have all, Wells Fargo, the big banks getting in, they're not going to want to deal with this volatility. So they're going to be buying it up, right? So they're buying it up now. They're buying it up. I think they were buying it up before the run up. So, they were buying around 40 to 60K. And who knows? They were probably buying way lower than that, just not telling anybody, or maybe buying through a third party and nobody knew. But yeah, let me say, BlackRock does not like volatility. The fact that we know now, right? We know now there's a big, they approved the spot ETF, and we see in their numbers, if you pull their reports up, they're buying billions of dollars each day, right? So the fact that they're buying at these levels suggests that they don't want to deal with volatility anymore, and they think the Bitcoin market is mature enough for them to start buying, right? So basically, what that means, I don't think we'll see, any. I don't think we're gonna have this, right? I don't think we're gonna have a run up to 20K, and then we go down to, we break the all time lows from last time, or we get, well, like for instance, in 2017 we hit 20,000, and then I think we went all the way back down to like $3,000. I don't think we'll see that anymore. Maybe we get a crash to maybe we get it crash to 50K, but yeah, I don't see us going back down to like 40K or anything like that. But yeah, that's my take on the market. And well, the crypto market, right? So, and it's not only for crypto. I think people are, I think people are passing up on opportunities other than the crypto market. Right now, we also have this other thing called AI. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with the AI boom. But we have, I think it was yesterday or today they were doing like an AI conference where they were like releasing all the new innovative things that are coming out of AI. It was like a convention or something like that. And I think after that, people are going to start realizing, okay, AI is going to be one of those things that, you know, is probably going to be a good investment now and probably going to be a good investment soon in the future. So you don't want to pass up on that too. For me, I definitely be keeping up with some of the AI plays. I told you guys before that I bought an AI newsletter to keep me up, but I haven't invested in anything yet because I like to do my research before I invest in anything. I like to make sure it's quality because I like to, again, when I invest, I like to put a lot of money in, 10, 20K, and even higher than that. So that way, I could see decent returns because if I'm expecting a double, you double that type of money, you're doing pretty good, and then you could repeat the process. But yeah, so not just crypto. I think people are passing up on, one time the YouTube thing was like I think YouTube is still good, right? This is why I do it, but I think there was a time like from that 2016 to 2000 era where if you became a YouTuber, you definitely could have grew your following a lot quicker, especially if you were coming out with content consistently. And right, that was another opportunity. If you go back to 2008, 2009, the housing market crashed. That was another opportunity. Individual big tech stocks like a Tesla, like an Nvidia, those were opportunities. So there's always opportunities, right? Just because you missed the crypto opportunity, maybe you miss some AI stocks, but the point of the video is there's always going to be opportunities. But if you don't go out of your way to look for them or put some money behind your research or you put some time behind your research, you're not going to be exposed to those opportunities and you're going to continue to miss those opportunities. So, and that's what I think keeps people broke. And maybe it doesn't keep you broke, but it keeps you from building your wealth or building your money supply, building that nest egg, building that retirement quicker. And I think if we start realizing, okay, maybe on the weekend I'll devote an hour or two to looking up, certain technologies that are booming or certain sectors that are booming right now, right? Maybe you stick to two sectors and you say, okay, every week I'm going to focus on this sector and become an expert, and maybe not an expert, right, but just well versed in that space. So okay, this is moving here, right, and then you couple that research with maybe you buy a newsletter. So now you have a newsletter that's giving you maybe some picks. Then you have your research, and then you could put that all together to make a good investment decision. But if you just sit on the weekend and just go on Twitter and see what somebody's posting and don't you just go off of what somebody says. A lot of you just invest off of what somebody says on Facebook or Twitter. Maybe not Facebook because people don't use Facebook, but Facebook is still around. Or Instagram. You might see like a TikTok video where somebody say, or a YouTube ad where it's like, hey, invest in this. You don't have time left. And some of those are good. Like I said, I bought a newsletter, an AI newsletter from one of those crypto ads. It wasn't expensive, right? It's like, and that's another good point. Some of these information is not expensive. Some people are selling for 75 bucks. Obviously, they'll always try to upsell you and stuff like that. But yeah, some of it's not really that expensive to purchase. And I think if you Just invest a little bit of money into these things. You could definitely put yourself in a position to be in front of some good investments. And then from there, it's up to you to make the investment and see it all the way through, right? But yeah, passing up on opportunities will definitely keep you broke. It will definitely prevent you from building wealth. So make sure you don't pass up on opportunities, and make sure you put yourself in a position where you can be exposed to those opportunities, right? All right, so that's it. I'll see you guys Monday, and take care.